Family, it is time for a little storytelling. And today I will be telling the tale of two Karens. Now, unfortunately for women named Karen, the Karen name has now become an adjective to describe a complaining woman. Well, I know a couple Karens, and they both complain a lot. But one of them should be the governor of Denver, and the other one needs to be held up on treason charges against. So the first Karen I want to introduce you to is a Karen that you may already know. Now, I found her, I don't know, maybe a year or two ago. I followed her for a while, then I kind of stopped following her, not because she isn't brilliant, but just because I was following so many people, I kind of had to kind of pick them followed. I do run back and look at Karen from time to time. And Karen really touched my heart. Karen is everything that I wish I could be at her age. I mean, she's beautiful, got beautiful skin, body's tight. She's smart. She's very well educated, very professional. You can tell by the way she talks. She's been through a lot in her life. And boy, has she been through a lot in her life. If you watch enough of her videos, you will begin to hear her mention from time to time the death of her husband. She is a Gold Star widow, and she also lost her child. So she's got a lot. She's got a lot to complain about, and rightfully so. And I just wanted to remind everyone, if you don't know who Barack Obama really is, maybe it's time you found out. So let's go ahead and let Karen Kennedy tell you what she has to say about her experiences and what her life was like under the Obama administration.
Though I have been a staunch supporter of President Trump since day one, I do have a walk away story. I mistakenly voted for Obama when this was all new, before we knew what, as Americans, we were setting ourselves up for.
Damn straight.
I am the widow of Sergeant Kennedy, and he served, as most people know, most of his, well, all of his adult life in the United States Army. And we were married most of his career, and he died on active duty. And I had to fight for my husband's benefits because the government and the military was not a friendly entity under Obama. And that's just what we are discovering as survivors, veterans, soldiers. Under President Trump, the military just got the biggest pay hike in decades. And it is because of President Trump. Let me tell you some very stark differences and why I chose to walk away.
Get it, Karen.
I chose to take my vote elsewhere, and why I performed my due diligence and conducted my in-depth research that yielded the results when I set two columns side by side, pros and cons, and why stay and why walk away. Anyway, God bless you. Thank you. What are the differences? What have I experienced? For one, under Obama, I was homeless.
So was
You
I.
know that about me.
So was I.
Share it because I feel as though I'm given
a lot of people, same thing, didn't even know. There was a time in my life where I was working in Millbrae at a country club. It was $100,000 a year to be in this country club. I was working for millionaires, okay? I was sleeping in my car the whole time, okay? None of my coworkers knew. Nobody fucking knew. I was going to CrossFit every day, getting really buff, getting really cut, okay? Showering at CrossFit, going to work, and then getting drunk and sleeping in the car every night. Okay, been there, done that. And it was all during Obama's administration. Worst time in my life.
Action item by the Lord to share those experiences so that people can see that we are overcomers, that we can overcome
That's right.
these negative situations.
That's right.
And yes, I was homeless.
And this is why sometimes I don't always feel sorry for people who are homeless, because nobody should be homeless longer than a year. If you're working, if you want to work, if you're willing to work, Nobody should be homeless longer than 1 year. Even in California, even in expensive ass fucking California, no one should be homeless longer than 1 year. If I can do it, if I can bring myself out of it, anybody can. And I didn't have to sell pussy to do it.
Was laid off several times because
I worked.
Were under the former Trans-Pacific Partnership under Obama. The jobs were shipped overseas to Bangladesh and to other parts of India.
And what happened in my industry was that under Obama, he let everybody and their mama get a fucking driver's license. So when he did that, the illegals came in to all of the temp agencies and fucking took all that shit over. And there was a time in my life I was making a lot of money at temp agencies. But once Obama did that shit and let all these illegals drive, they took all the jobs too in the culinary industry in San Francisco.
And China. I am a witness to this. This is not secondhand information. This is my information. This
my information too. My information too.
Apartment that I lived in fact, I was only there for maybe 2 months, and then I got laid off again. Still fighting for my husband's benefits, still just trying to get the government under Obama to do what they promised soldiers and their families that they were going to do, but they didn't keep their promises. It took me
Okay, this is a casting call right here. Anybody who experienced any sort of struggles with the VA above and beyond what the struggles always were with the VA, please let me know, and so I can do a Zoom call with you, because I want to know what the fuck happened.
Years to get all of his benefits. 7 years. So the work dried up in the United States, and people can say whatever they want, but all you have to do is do some research.
Yep.
Go back and do some
Ask me.
Of the Dow, for one. Go ahead and do some comparisons. Sorry, I'm trying to hold this up. Do some comparisons of the Dow and do some comparisons of the labor market and how the jobs, the unemployment rate was at an all-time high under Obama. And I was one of those people who was looking for work, but there was none because Obama was was a willing and active participant in the economic collapse that caused many of us to be living in our cars.
Yep.
That's where I lived.
Yep.
I lived
Me
in my
too.
truck.
Me too.
And,
couldn't even afford to register that piece of shit.
when I could not afford a hotel, I had to live in my truck. And that's just the way that life went. So that's one.
Let me just explain to y'all, living in California, you can easily work full time and still be homeless. I was working 40 hours a week, okay, in corporate dining. I was still sleeping in a fucking hostel for $23 a night with a bunch of fucking scummy ass people and crackheads. I stayed in the fucking shelter on 5th and Harrison one night. That was the worst night of my life. I stayed in another shelter on Van Ness and Mission. That was another worst night of my life. And we're going to get to that at some point, because I need to tell you how this transgenderism is even affecting that. Okay. And how many men were in that women's shelter that night. Okay. I would rather sleep in the park. It got to the point where I was sleeping in Ocean Beach. I was sleeping in the parks in Berkeley. It was safer to sleep outdoors. It was safer to sleep in the fucking parks. Okay. You can work full time. Okay. Some of that money is going to go toward your car, or how fucking expensive it is to take the BART every day to get to work. Okay. It can easily be, if you work 2 jobs, you can easily spend $30 a day on BART, easily. Okay. You have your gym, you have your phone, you have whatever food you need to eat, whatever food you need to buy, gas, parking. Okay. And that's just the bare minimal expenses. If you got a kid and you got to pay child support like I did, there was my money. Okay. I could, if I lived in buttfuck Texas or buttfuck Wisconsin, I could have afforded a place easily with the amount of money I was making. But in California, no. My CrossFit was $245 a month. Yeah, I could have gone to 24-hour fitness for cheaper, but I'm just saying, like, shit is expensive.
Piece of the walk of why I walked away.
And real quick.
No value.
And real quick, Karen is in Denver, Colorado, over the past 15 years after they legalized marijuana. I don't know what happened, but Denver got really fucking expensive. I was looking at Denver as a place to move to. $1,400 for a 1-bedroom apartment in Denver? That's what people were paying in fucking West LA. That's what people were paying in Mar Vista. Are you kidding me? LA prices for Denver? Are you kidding me? So where she lives, it's pretty fucking expensive too.
Added service. There was no value added piece to voting for Obama just because he's black. Maybe there was a little part of me that fell into that trap as well, but I primarily voted for him because of his interview on ESPN. And I can go into that if somebody asks. But anyway, that was the reason that I voted for him. I knew something was kind of fishy. But anyway, here we are. So I couldn't get a job. And when I did get a job, all I could get were contractor jobs.
Right.
And because I had too much experience,
Yep.
they didn't want to hire me for entry-level jobs. So I couldn't find a permanent placement. Companies were not hiring. There was hiring freezes on every level, private and public sector jobs. So couldn't get a job that way. And continued to live in my car, continued to fight for my husband's benefits. And what's different now? Okay. Driving a much better car. I've had job offers since Trump has been president thrown at me left and right. I'm in transition, so I'm trying to get that piece solidified before I accept an offer. But there's jobs, just job offers being look at this fact. It's awesome. Okay. The job numbers are 3 million jobs, 6 million jobs in the job sector overall. There's more jobs than there are people to fill them.
Well, unfortunately, that's not true. This is Karen's video from 2018. So this is 2 years old. Yeah, and my life got a hell of a lot better under Trump. When I moved to Vegas, I had a nice ass apartment. I had a nice ass car. Shit that I could never afford in California, I could get. Things kind of got bad for me. I moved back to California, but I still was able to afford my room out there with my roommate, as well as my office here in Vegas, paid on this motherfucker for 2 years. Okay, while I was working, I've been able to afford clothes. I've been able to afford shoes. I've not had to work 2 jobs like I used to and still afford 2 places in 2 states. Okay, so my life got better too.
And the president came out with a new jobs initiative, he and Ivanka Trump, just the other day, so that we can go back to VOTEC training so that these jobs can be filled and people don't have to be broke living on welfare anymore, that they can be empowered to be better. This is a man who is doing. He's not just saying that he is going to support an agenda of hope and change.
What?
I was left under Obama with no hope and no change.
What?
Okay? And what else is different now? We have an accountability that has not been seen in government before. We have accountability within the Veterans Administration. There were a lot of veterans who were dying waiting for an appointment under the Obama administration. It doesn't happen to that degree under President Trump. There are still some Obamacare issues that are being worked through, but veterans, in fact, they just opened a it's way, anyway, this project for the new VA hospital here in Denver, they did the ribbon cutting yesterday. I missed it. I really wanted to go, and I apologize. I would have broadcast from there. But this is a new campus, state-of-the-art facility for veterans. Of course, under President Trump, it would have been under budget and on time. But because of the mess that was the VA under Obama, the hospital is 5 years overdue. So, of course, the liberals and the Democrats are trying to blame the current administration. But this project started way back. I was here. I know.
What?
So spare me the fake outrage. What is another thing that has changed? Opportunities for Hispanic people, opportunities for Black people, lowest unemployment rate, highest employment rate in American history. But yet, Whoopi Goldberg chooses to lose her marbles against Judge Jeanine Pirro when she points out the high.
Now, I'm not afraid of anybody. I'm definitely not afraid of other girls, but I would never fight Karen, and I would never fight Judge Jeanine. I would be terrified to swing on either one of those women. And I'm pretty aggressive. So yeah, these are the baddies of the baddies.
Job numbers that are being filled and employment in the Black community. She behaved just like the Black Caucus during the State of the Union address when President Trump announced the same thing. They sat there with their arms folded and their lips smoked out. So that tells you right there that they want to keep Black folks on the plantation, walking around like zombies, feeding this corporatocracy, not doing better for ourselves, not making our own lives better.
Right.
single dads, not making families stronger and more cohesive. But Obama was in office under a 16-year plan with the globalist and deep state to try to completely crush and eliminate the American family. That's a fact. Those are their own words. This is fact.
Yep.
He did not succeed because Medusa did not steal the election. Okay? What else is different? Why did I walk away? What else is different? Because I'm seeing that this man is doing what he promised us during the campaign cycle. When I went to events, when he told us this is what I'm doing and this is what I'm doing and this is what I'm doing, he's just checking off action items. Just done, 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 done. North Korea, no nuclear proliferation, done. TPP, canceled, done. No Paris Accord that only benefited Western Europe, done. Immigration issues, and putting measures in place that will prevent us from being flooded with 800 million North Africans because they have killed off all of the white farmers in South Africa. Done. You think that's not going to be an issue? You just wait when they can't find food in their own country.
Tell it, Karen.
So that's another action I have done. Job growth, done.
Yep.
Economic growth. Dow Jones Industrial Average and New York Stock Exchange highest averages in history since it started. Done.
Get it, Karen.
Deep state draining the swamp. Done. This is why I walked away, because my personal life was affected adversely by the Obama circus and administration. One more big difference: my daughter could not find adequate health care. They drained her body. They treated her like a lab rat. And that was Obamacare. She trusted them. Implicitly, she trusted her medical staff. And all they did was operate on her and test on her until she couldn't take it anymore because her body was too frail and weak. And then at the hospital, when she was on her deathbed, clinging to life on life support, the Donor Alliance came begging for her damn organs because they thought she was already dead. That's how I see this paradigm shift. That's why I walk away gladly. And I will never look back on that wretched ass plantation. And
well, neither will I. So Karen put all her skin in the game, and she lost it all. And I might joke about how much I can't stand my kid, but mine's still here and hers is not. So you guys go follow Karen Kennedy. And she also has a Patreon, so please donate to her. So subscribe to her on all of her platforms. I don't know what platform she's on, but I know definitely YouTube. And then get her some money on Patreon, you know, and support the people you care about on Patreon, because some people aren't working right now. Verstein's not working. Okay, Truth or Talk isn't working. I don't know if Axe is working. So I know that Ollie Matthews is not working. Jericho's still working, but you know, he has 2 kids and he lives in California, so he still needs help, I'm sure. So guys, you know, make sure you guys are doing monthly subscriptions, monthly auto payments on PayPal for the people that you care about, the truthers that are doing the research and not just being ralliers, but doing the research and who can spit facts and educate you, so that when you go to the workplace and when you're around your fucking ignorant family, you know how to arm yourself with facts, you know, and you can talk about what Barack Obama did to Karen Kennedy because now you know who she is. All right, so let's move on to the other Karen, another Karen. Now, this Karen's not quite as cool. As a matter of fact, if I ever see her, I might want to fight her, but she is older than me and I got to respect my elders. So let's Karen Bass, who is currently rumored to be an interesting running mate for senile Joe Biden. I can't see putting her up as VP because, like Sigma says, like Slayer Sigma says, you know, the whole plan is to declare him mentally or medically unfit for the position so that someone else, his VP, can swing in. I don't think she has what it takes to run this country. I'm sure after we take a closer look at her, you will probably feel the same way. So let's go ahead and look at Karen Bass. Karen Ruth Bass, born 1953, is an American politician serving as the U.S. representative for California's 37th congressional district since 2013. From 2011 to 2013, she was U.S. representative for California's 33rd congressional district, a member of the Democratic Party. She previously served in the California State Assembly and the last two as its speaker. On November 28, 2018, Bass was elected to the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus during the 116th Congress. She also serves as chair of the United States House Foreign Affairs Subcommittee on Africa, Global Health, Global Human Rights and International Organizations, and the United States House Judiciary Subcommittee on Crime, Terrorism, and Homeland Security. Before her election to Congress, Bass represented the 47th District in the California State Assembly, 2004 through 2010. In 2008, she was elected to serve as the 67th Speaker of California State Assembly, becoming the first African-American woman in the United States history to serve as Speaker of a legislative body. She won the John F. Kennedy Profile Encourage Award in 2010 for her leadership during the Great Recession. Bass is on the short list to become presumptive Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden's running mate in 2020. Woo! Okay, so basically, I don't know why I've never heard of her before. I haven't lived in LA since 2013, but she is from my hometown. Like she's not just from LA, like she's represented the parts of LA that I've lived in and grew up in. So let me just show you where the 37th congressional district is. So this is Culver City, and I graduated from Culver High. Inglewood, so a lot of my friends lived in Inglewood, and the city of Los Angeles neighborhoods is Mid-City. Okay, so Mid-City is like the kind of the Mexican, Jewish, Byzantine, Latino quarter, kind of outskirts of Mid-Wilshire area. West Los Angeles, so that's going to be kind of the Mar Vista area. Westwood, that is where UCLA is. Century City, Rich, Rancho Park, Rich, Palms, right outside of Culver City. Used to kind of be the ghetto area of Culver City, but it's super gentrified now, so it's not. Same with Mar Vista, Del Rey, Sawtelle, got a funny story about that place when I was 11, but okay, we're not gonna go there. Windsor Hills, yeah, Cheviot Hills, money, Pico Robertson, money, Exposition Park. Okay, so that's down by USC, University Park. That's a little bit more Hancock Park, so that's like old Jewish money. Vermont Knolls, getting very, very gentrified. That's the area right outside USC. West Adams, right outside USC, same thing, very, very gentrified over the past 20 years. Lamert Park, not what you see in the movies anymore. It used to be black. It used to be ghetto. It's not anymore. Very gentrified. Jefferson Park, same thing. Vermont Square, same thing. Ladera Heights, always been old black money, but definitely more gentrified than it used to be. Hyde Park, same thing. Crenshaw area, again, Crenshaw and Baldwin Hills. My God, I remember my mom, after she divorced my dad, my mom lived at 3994 Santa Rosalia Avenue. That's Santa Rosalia, and I think it was Santa Rosalia and Crenshaw, and I think Don Tomaso or one of those streets, right? You guys, if you're from Crenshaw, Baldwin Hills, you know Don Tomaso, Don Lorenzo, you know Gilliam Park, you know all that shit, right? So Training Day was filmed right there, and I was there when they filmed it. Like there was that one part where like Denzel goes up to see Eva Longoria, and that's the building, you know, that was at the end of the block where they filmed that. So basically, she's represented all these districts that are super gentrified now. So clearly, she doesn't care about blacks. She's part of the Congressional Black Caucus. So clearly, she is a slave catcher. You know, she's a slave catcher. 33rd Congressional District. Okay, so that is based in Los Angeles County. The district is currently represented by Ted Lieu. In 2014, after 40 years in Congress, the previous representative, Henry Waxman, announced his retirement. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so now this is the money area. So she was over Agora Hills. Oh yeah, Bel Air, Beverly Hills, Brentwood, money. Calabasas, Fairfax. Okay, that's Mid-Wilshire, so still some Jewish money there. Hermosa Beach money, Malibu, of course, money, Manhattan Beach, Marina Del Rey, Pacific Palisades, Palos Verdes, all money. Playa del Rey, Rancho Palos Verdes, mad money. Redondo Beach, Rolling Hills Estates, crazy money. Santa Monica Mountains, Topanga, money. Torrance, working class, upper class, middle class. UCLA campus, money. Venice and Westwood, ton of money. Okay, let's see what else. 47th district, where's that? All right, so a little bit inland. So she started in the IE. Okay, so she worked her way up. She worked her way up from the ghetto ass IE, meth infested San Bernardino County, and then she went all the way to the beach and all up in the mountains where all the celebrities live. So, okay, so that's pretty clear that she doesn't have the interests of the common people or the working class in mind whatsoever. So we already know that. We already know that. Okay, she served as chair of the United States House Foreign Subcommittee on Africa. What the fuck is that? The subcommittee is one of 5 that with what the committees call regional jurisdiction over a specific area of the globe. Such jurisdiction includes political relations between the United States and countries in the region and related legislation, disaster assistance, boundary issues, and international claims. The regional subcommittees also oversee the activities of the United Nations and its programs in the region. The subcommittee is also the only regional subcommittee to exercise what the committee calls functional jurisdiction, including oversight of international health issues, population issues, legislation, and oversight pertaining to the implementation of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and other matters relating internationally to internationally recognized human rights, including legislation aimed at the promotion of human rights and democracy generally. Okay, so that sounds like some serious New World Order shit. That sounds like serious access to children. That sounds like controlling reproductive health of other women in other countries. That sounds like suggesting vaccinations. It sounds like they're suggesting laws and deciding for other countries what their democratic process might be. All right, let's see what this other one is. The Subcommittee on Crime, Terrorism, Homeland Security, and Investigations shall have jurisdiction over the following subject matters: federal criminal code, drug enforcement, sentencing, parole and pardons, internal and homeland security, federal rules of criminal procedure, prisons, criminal law enforcement, and other appropriate matters as referred by the chairman, and relevant oversight. Okay, I don't know what any of that means, but it don't sound like it doesn't sound like she's somebody that we can trust. Doesn't sound like somebody we could trust. Well, let's see. I don't want to.
South and West LA. Congresswoman, great to see you.
Thank you. It's always good to see you as well.
All right, so let's talk though about coronavirus, because that is an area of big concern. A lot of people may not know, if they're getting to know you around the country because of this VP Talk, that your background is actually in healthcare. And from a healthcare perspective, what do you think is the most important thing that needs to be done right now when it comes to coronavirus? And how can Congress help in making that happen?
All right, before we listen to this bitch lie, let's see where is her health background? Okay. Where is her health background here? Political positions. Okay. Where is her health background? I don't remember reading anything that says that she has a background in health. What she did was she was on this chair, she was the chair of this subcommittee making decisions, but she is not a medical professional. And it doesn't seem that she has ever worked at a hospital. So where's her fucking health background? Let's see what this bitch has to say.
Well, let me start with what Congress can do. First of all, we passed the HEROES Act, geez, probably about a month ago in the House, and it's sitting over in the Senate. And that really needs to be taken up and passed. It needs to pass for health reasons, but it also needs to pass for economic reasons too, because unemployment insurance is getting ready to run out. People need a new stimulus check. But
no, bitch, people need to go back to work, bitch. We don't need any more stimulus checks. We don't need to be in debt for the next 20 fucking years to pay everyone's bills who is paying their own bills and who still wants to pay their own bills.
Also need to massively increase the money for testing.
No, bitch, we don't. You see, she's on some New World Order shit. But we're going to get into maybe why Biden might consider running with her, my conclusion later.
Contact tracing and for treatment. And so that's number one. But, you know, number two, I think here, especially in California, we're really lucky to have the leadership that we do. Just like the doctor was saying, you know, we have done what we're supposed to do here, and we've been aggressive about it. So here you have the best of circumstances in terms of our state leadership, and we're still suffering from this. We do have people coming in from all over the country, and then, you know, even in our state, because I was on a call with the governor, with a lot of members of Congress throughout California, and he was under pressure from a lot of different members who wanted to push him to open up. Now, I don't know if that's where the virus is increasing, but just imagine, he knows the health situation and the economic situation, so that's a tremendous amount of pressure. When you're doing everything right, you still have the challenges.
Bitch, Gavin Newsom is not doing anything right. And if this bitch trusts and agrees and supports the agenda of Gavin Newsom, that's a problem for this country. We can't have someone who trusts Gavin Newsom's judgment as vice president and possibly president of this country. You guys are out of your fucking minds. These Democrats are out of their fucking minds.
Speaking of being aggressive, Mr. Biden has said he would make masks mandatory. I'm a mask maven. You're a healthcare provider. I'm sure you understand the benefits of masks. Should they be mandatory, and should people be fined for?
How is she? Where is she a healthcare provider? Okay, healthcare. Okay, what does she do? She supports universal healthcare. She's voted more than 60 times against the repeal of the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, believing that Congress should improve it rather than appeal it. Where is her resume where it says that she is a healthcare provider or ever worked? Okay, here we go. In the 80s, while working as a physician assistant and a clinical instructor at the Keck School of Medicine, USC Physician Assistant Program, Bass witnessed the impact of the crack epidemic in Los Angeles after attending blah, 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 blah. Okay, but wait a minute. She was a physician's assistant and a clinical instructor at the Keck School of Medicine at USC. But where is her, okay, all right, I see what it is, okay. She went to study philosophy at San Diego State University and graduated from the USC Keck School of Medicine Physician Assistant Program. Then she earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Health Sciences from the California State University, Dominguez Hills. She also received her master's in social work from USC. Okay, so she was a physician's assistant. She's not even a fucking registered nurse. She's not a registered nurse, and she never proceeded to work in a real hospital or a real clinic. She stayed at USC and worked as a clinical instructor for the physician's assistant program. Okay, and then she got her four-year degree. Okay, she got her four-year degree from Cal State Dominguez Hills, which is a ghetto-ass university, ghetto. And then she went back and got her master's in social work from USC. So she's not a healthcare professional. And if she was, she only worked at USC in the fucking labs. She didn't work in real life. Let's see what stupid Dr. Drew has to say. Fuck Dr. Drew. Fuck Dr. Drew.
Well, I don't know if people should be fined, but I do think they should be mandatory. Let me give you an example. In New York City, for example, they made them mandatory. They were fining people, and then that turned out to be unequal. So in some neighborhoods where they were predominantly African American and Latino, you had 85% of the fines going to Black and Latino folks. On the other side of town in New York, the police were passing out masks. So how about making it mandatory, but then also doing things like making sure that everybody...
That's probably because, you know, on the Upper East Side and Upper West Side, cops don't have niggas and bitches spitting at them and throwing water at them. So yeah, they probably were like, here, just take a mask. I'll let it go. I'll let it slide. Whereas, you know, niggas want to get stupid with cops in New York. So they're like, fuck it, take the ticket. I wouldn't be surprised if that's why. But I can't listen to any more of this particular interview. And I hate Dr. Drew right now. He's such a fucking traitor. I remember when Dr. Drew was cool, when Dr. Drew was on Loveline back when Ricky Rackman, and by the way, I love Adam Carolla. I don't like Adam Carolla, but I like his spirit. But he's annoying. All right, so what I wanted to get into about Karen Bass and the weird connection that she has with Joe Biden is this. So her daughter, her only child, and her daughter's husband, her son-in-law, died. I didn't know that. The daughter and son-in-law of Assemblywoman Karen Bass were killed over the weekend in a car crash near Los Angeles International Airport, officials said on Monday. And this is from October 31st, 2006. Amelia and Michael Wright, both 23, were married this year. They met while students at Loyola Marymount, where Amelia was due to graduate in December. According to California Highway Patrol report, Michael was driving a 1997 Hyundai, and his wife was the only passenger. About 4:20 a.m. Sunday, when it veered off the road, crashed into a support beam and burst into flames on the 405 freeway near the Ladera Boulevard overpass. Okay. Ladera Boulevard overpass. Where is that? Okay, so that's right. Yeah, that is by the airport. That's right by Culver City. That's right by where I grew up. A passerby tried to help pull Michael Wright out of the car, but was thwarted when the passenger compartment caught fire, the CHP report states. Amelia Wright was the only child of Bass, a longtime emergency room physician assistant and community activist elected to the assembly in 2004. Bass 52 was named Assembly Majority Floor Leader for the 2007-2008 legislative session and is the only African-American woman in the legislature. Okay. All right, so that's kind of creepy. I'm trying to think of why someone would crash there, and I really can't think of any reason. I'm trying to think if that area is even known for racing, or, you know, it doesn't say that if they got hit, it doesn't say how they died. It just veered off the road and crashed into a support beam and then burst into flames. Most cars don't actually explode. Most of that's on TV. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying most of the time it doesn't happen, and most people don't know that. But okay, not much detail there. I don't know, kind of weird. But it's kind of creepy. Kind of reminded me of this guy's family situations. And this article is from 2015. As the Biden family mourns the death of Beau Biden, the former Delaware Attorney General who died on Saturday of brain cancer at 46, it's a sad reminder. You can tell this isn't even real journalism. There's a grammatical error right here, but the facts are true. I just found this one. I just picked the first one. It's a sad reminder of the many personal tragedies that have befallen the vice president. In 1972, just 1 month after winning his first Senate race, Biden received a phone call telling him his wife and college sweetheart, Nelia, and their 13-month-old daughter, Naomi, had been killed in a car accident on their way to buy a Christmas tree. Okay. So, isn't that a little weird that they both have dead children, and both of their children died in car crashes, and both of their children died in car crashes? I mean, his wife, Biden's wife died with the baby, and her son-in-law died with her daughter. Like, just the whole, I don't know, kind of weird. And I'm wondering, at first I thought, just kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt, because I want to believe. To some degree, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, because there's a part of me that doesn't just want to go accusing every Democrat of being a Satanist. So I'm thinking, maybe they kind of know each other. Like, maybe they trauma bonded over the death of their children. Joe and Karen, maybe they trauma bonded over it. And then I thought to myself, well, what are the chances? What are the chances? And then, I'm not making accusations here, but let's just say, for shits and giggles, there's some sort of firstborn type of sacrifice going on. Okay. I don't know. I want to do a video about all the rockers who have possibly sold their soul to the devil and given up their firstborn son. We know what the requirements are of the industry to either emasculate your firstborn son publicly, or to kill a baby, to kill your firstborn. They make the women do it. They make the men do it. They force singers and actresses and stuff to have abortions, and I'm sure there's all kinds of secret babies that side bitches are having and being paid off to, give up their child. And I'm not saying for sure that's the situation here, but it is a little weird. It is a little creepers, you know what I mean? Both of them, their firstborn kids have died. I'm not sure if these people have not signed their name in blood. I'm just saying, I don't know. Well, anyway, that is a tale of two Karens. I hope you enjoyed it. And if anyone actually knows Karen Kennedy, can someone please tell her I'm like, got a big girl crush on her. And I think she's amazing and I respect her a lot. Okay, thank you.